Animal Hospital of Tiffin, CF Professionals Incorporated, Gary Gruse's office, the Ohio Mutual Insurance Group, Jim Kennedy's office, State Farm Insurance, Ed Lape's office, Steyer Seeds, and Tiffin Ace Hardware. Coach Goff, you got one of your student athletes here with us now. Why don't you go ahead and introduce the young man to your left?
I do. We got Obadiah Dykes with us here, who we just mentioned earlier about had one of the top 6 performances in Tiffin University history. And I don't even know if Obadiah knows this right now, but the only person in front of you that had a better game is Nate Washington. So pretty good company right there, man.
Yeah, wow.
Nate Washington had 5 200-plus yard games, and you are number 6 behind the top 5 games that Nate Washington put up. So pretty good company having an NFL receiver, the only person whose name is in front of you on the record books.
Yeah, it's an honor. It's an honor. I feel like I accomplished something this week, so just want to get better.
Well, we were talking to the coach in our previous segment over there about how looking at this past game, looking at the Findlay game, you can tell there's a comfort level in the offense when you're out there on the field. Are you kind of like that security blanket for the quarterbacks? You feel that way?
I hope so. I would like to have that title if they feel comfortable with me being out there. I don't plan on missing any more games because I feel like we could definitely run the table and make some plays and win some more games.
Now, he's being a little modest right now. He is a true receiver. He had 10 catches for 194 yards.
Sure.
He's still mad that we didn't throw it to him at least 10 more times.
Yeah.
But that's how you want your receivers to
absolutely,
act.
Absolutely, absolutely.
No, I'm not mad. We need to spread it around. I like the way the game played out.
But you like getting those numbers, too.
Yeah, I like the numbers also.
Yeah. Well, you're from Newark, New Jersey. Tell us the path that got you to Tiffin University and being a Dragon football player.
Went to junior college out of high school. Was looked at by Syracuse and University of Buffalo. But stuff happened with my grades. It was out of a school. Coach Grant, a previous recruited me to come here to play, and he said they run the air raid. And I'm like, I'm there.
Yeah.
We had a little hassle for a couple weeks maybe, but then I signed. I came, and I'm glad I came here. I made this choice to come to Tiffin University to play.
So you're really enjoying your time here as being a Tiffin University Dragon. And,
yes, sir.
When you're done with your football career at Tiffin University, where do you think the future is going to take you?
Wherever God lead me, I'll be thankful for it. That's my whole thing, and I'm just going to be prepared to accept it and what's going to happen.
You're hoping to play?
Yeah, I'm hoping to play at the next level, definitely, but I just got to get my education first.
Now tell them what your job was.
Back home, whenever I go home, I'm a medical examiner, like examine bodies, do crime scenes and all that.
Really?
Yeah, so it's exciting. It's like an adrenaline rush I had when I didn't have football in my life, so yeah, it was exciting.
And your major here?
My major right here is sports management.
Sports management.
So have you always had a passion for that type of work? What drew you to that?
Coming out of high school, it was the summer. I came back home for the summer, and I didn't have a job. And one of my old coaches, he was into the business, and he asked me did I want a job. So I was working around a funeral home, and I was helping with that, doing the dressing the body and all that. And then I just fell in love with it.
That was pretty creepy at first.
The first time I went in,
it's got to take a little bit to get used to.
The first time I walked in, it was just there. I'm like, oh, and I didn't know how to react to it. So It was something very different. It was real different. But yeah, now I'm used to it.
So talk a little bit about what you think are your strengths on the football field to help out this offense.
My strengths on the football field would definitely be trying to help my teammates out. Like, I want them to know that I'm there for them no matter what. The young ones, the older ones, everybody. That's my whole thing. I'm all about my team.
And you feel that you lead by example as much? Are you a vocal guy in the locker room, or are you a guy
I try to be. Normally I'm not, but I know that we need it. So I'm trying to come more out of my character more to try to lead my team.
He's been a great leader for us, going all the way back to last offseason. And, he was one of the guys that was here during the summer and working out and throwing and catching balls with the quarterback, stuff like that. We are a very young football team, as everybody knows. Obadiah, he is one of the guys we brought in here as a junior last year, so he's one of our few seniors this year. Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, he's a better player and even that much more better young man than we can ever dreamed about, of getting. And a lot of the young guys look up to him. And he's like everybody else. He likes to go out there and have fun and cut up a little bit. But when it's time to work hard, he's right there leading the pack and making sure everybody's doing their job. So he's been a pleasure to have, and I wish we had a lot more just like him.
That's what I was going to say. You probably wish you had a few Obadiah Dykes on your team, don't you?
Oh, there's no question. And I tell you what, he's had some really big games here for us. going all the way back to last year against Lake Erie, he broke a school.
Was it 16 or 18 catches?
18 catches.
Yeah.
He broke a conference record. We just talked about some of the, receivers came out of this conference and are playing in the NFL right now. And, the funny thing is, you notice him make big plays in a game, but it's not like we're just trying to throw him the football, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, when you look at the stats, even Saturday, when we looked at the stats after the game, me and Coach Yeast are sitting there going, he had 10 catches for almost 200 yards, really. So, it's kind of the sky's the limit for this young man. I mean, he can pull out and have a great game at any moment.
Did you tell Pedro Correa, you got to lead me on that pass? Because if he leads you, you get 6 on that.
Yeah, well, they keep trying to call me slow for that play. But it's okay. I'm going to make up for it next chance I get.
All right, well, next chance you get is going to be this coming Saturday. You get to go up against a Walsh club. Tell me what you feel like you need to do personally to make sure your team gets a victory.
Block. That's what I want to work on all week is blocking.
Well, I'm sure coaches will tell you this. I'm sure they probably preach on that a lot as well. I mean, receivers are notorious for wanting to be the highlight guy. Want a bunch of catches, bunch of yards, but blocking is just as important as catching the ball if you want to be able to have a well-rounded offense.
Yeah, no question. We tell the guys all the time, hey, when you're watching football on Sundays, you watch all the long runs, and you watch the receivers making great blocks downfield. I think last night, RG3 for Washington, he ended the game with a 76-yard run, I believe. Yeah. There was a receiver over there that made a great block, and we want to be a balanced attack. We want our receivers to have big, gains to the air and everything. But, those running backs in the backfield, they block a lot for us. And we got to return the favor, I guess, when we're running the football. So.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, you got some young receivers on your squad as well. Talk a little bit about the development you've seen from the younger kids.
They came in ready to play. They didn't know the plays and all, but they had the heart and the drive to want to get the job done. So I looked at them and I'm like, wow, they were way better than I was my freshman year. Coming into college, I was just out there lost. But they got the drive, the momentum, everything, and now they're catching on to the plays. They're getting more comfortable with the offense and making plays. And we got a strong core. And next year they're going to be a powerhouse.
He's he's got a little brother. Our football team, we've got big brothers, little brothers. Sure. He's got a special young receiver that, is kind of like his little brother. He pulls around the campus and on the field all the time.
Tyler Jones.
Yeah, Tyler Jones.
I was curious who it was.
They're family. There's no question about that. But
well, he's a darn good little athlete himself right there.
He's a great athlete, but he would be lost without his big brother's leadership.
Well, how important is it for you, Coach, to have some guys like Obadiah Dykes in your team? Because it's well documented how young this football team is. Having some senior leadership like that's got to pay huge dividends.
No, it's very important. And we'll have Coach Yeast on later, and he'll tell you the same thing. The good thing about this offense is, after you've got it in place for a few years and the receivers start coaching each other, and you got, your older guys like Obadiah here, well, you look out there and they're coaching all the young receivers, hey, on this play right here, you need your splits here. On this play, it's this many steps. I mean, they're almost like extra coaches on the field. And, we train our receivers with our quarterbacks. They're always with the quarterback meetings, and so that way they hear what we're telling the quarterbacks. Receivers, are told something that the quarterbacks get to hear. So it helps. And to have leadership and guys that have been in the system for a few years goes a long way because it's like we got a bunch of extra coaches out on the field at certain
Absolutely. You feel that way? You like taking on that role as an upperclassman, helping out groom these young wide receivers?
Yes, sir. I'm glad they look up to me and they feel like what I say to them, they take heed to what I'm telling them, and then they add it to their game. That's like, I don't know what I'm saying. It helps. I feel like it helps them a lot.
Well, you enjoy these young players looking up and listening to what you have to say. We've got a gentleman sitting over here, Coach Yeast, who you have to listen to what he has to say. Why don't you talk a little bit about what Coach Yeast has brought to the staff this year?
He's brought a lot to my football game. Like, I learned a lot from him as a man and as a coach. Like, I take lessons. Like, I listen when he talks. Everything he tells me, I try to take heed to it and add to my game or to the way I am in life. And the way I would carry myself or what approach I want to take with life and just different things. I'm really grateful to have him as a coach this year.
Well, he's going to be our next guest here after our next commercial segment. We'll talk to Coach Yeast. I'm sure he'll have some things to say about you as well. Coach, anything else for Obadiah before we let him get back to his studies?
No, we're just excited to have him. I wish we could have him for another season, to be honest with you. And I kind of cut up with him all the time because it is funny. You look out there at our receivers. Well, he's really our only senior. So, you got him and you got all those young guys out there, and he's kind of, the ringleader out there with them. But,
sure.
No, he's done a great job for us, and we still got a lot of football left ahead of us, and we expect great things out of him, and, just kind of keep it on.
Obadiah, it's been a pleasure to watch you these last couple of years,
Thank
man.
you.
Really do enjoy watching you play football. I wish you nothing but best of luck.
Thank you.
In your football career, your professional career. And Coach was saying you come from a pretty big family, huh?
Yeah, I have a big seven of us, 6 siblings.
Where are you in that
I'm
chart?
second from the youngest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we knew he was tough.
Yeah, you
got that
have
many
to
siblings,
be.
we know you're tough.
You better be. You better be, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Obadiah, once again, thank you so much for taking time for coming on the program with us tonight, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully we get a chance to talk to you again real soon.
Yes, sir.
It's Obadiah Dykes, wide receiver for the Tiffin University Dragon football squad. Coach, let's go ahead and step aside and take a break, and we'll bring on Coach Yeast to talk about Obadiah and the rest of the receiving staff and the offense. So
Perfect.
We'll be back after this on the Tiffin University Dragon Football Radio Network.